Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the... It's not listening? Yes? Okay, good morning, everyone. I think that it's necessary to switch on the headphones for those that are in the pavilion. So welcome to the Portuguese pavilion at this COP 29. So also welcome and thank for those that are online in YouTube in this Secretary General for Environment in the YouTube. And today is 6th November and we are here in the COP in Baku, Azerbaijan, in the day that is the Science, Technology and Innovation COP's Day. I'm Jorge Cristino and I'm partner of Get to See. And first of all, I'd like to acknowledgement and give the congratulations for Portuguese government and all team of the Environment Secretary General and also ADP to provide this pavilion in a climate change COP. So I think that is very important also to thanks for all the work that is doing to put this pavilion and provide it for the stakeholders that works in climate change. This event is organized by Get to See and it's about the regionally and locally determined contributions, proposal and platform. We will talk about the role of regional and local climate action in achieving national goals. Also discussion about motivating cities to adopt decarbonization initiatives and explore how technology and capacity building can enhance the effectiveness of local climate action, and to finally pre-launch and introduce abroad here in Baku the platform for regionally and locally determined contributions. So we will start with an opening. I will say that the keynote speaker, and it's Nina Ratilainen. Nina Ratilainen is city councillor in Turku, Finland, a city in Finland, and she also serves as a member of the European Committee of Regions, where she is co-president of the Greens Group. She's board member of the Turku Energy, the leading energy company in southwest Finland, and also work as an advocacy specialist in development cooperation and girls' rights at Plan International Finland. I would like to invite to the stage Nina Raitilainen, and also I would like to have the opportunity already to invite the other speakers to join me here in the stage. Francisco Teixeira and also Francisco Carvalho, please.
Sorry. Dear participants, good day to you all. Thank you for Get to See. Madam Pereira, can you hear me? Yes? Many exciting things take place in conferences of the parties. I don't only talk about the negotiation rooms and delegation meetings, but also podiums like these, podiums for the people and discussions we have for the future. Such as today, when something new will be launched soon, new ideas to realize the dream of a sustainable future and survival. As we come back from this COP to next COP in 1 year from now and next COPs after that, we are able to see how these ideas grow in practice and in the field. In this session, we discuss the potential of cities and regions to create NDCs, or better yet, locally and regionally determined contributions. I don't think I spoil anything from our panelists if I say that there is potential, and the potential is enormous in cities and regions throughout the world. Cities and regions are quite uniquely positioned to lead decarbonization efforts by implementing data-driven strategies and leveraging partnerships. Cities are setting examples of how to accelerate the transition to a low-carbon future. Through these efforts, cities simultaneously reduce emissions and create healthier, more sustainable living environments for our residents. I am here today to represent two magnificent constituencies mentioned already before. My home city Turku from southwest Finland and the European Committee of the Regions, which represents over 1 million decision makers from cities and regions of Europe. I also want to give you and convey a warm salute from our president, Mr. Vasco Alves Cordeiro, who was here previously this week and unfortunately had to leave because we are preparing for our last plenary in the EU Committee of the Regions, but he sends his regards. Our delegation from the European Committee of the Regions is here to emphasize to parties and national governments that they must recognize that cities and regions are the key to implement global climate policies. In planetary triple crisis, there is no global without local, because they are direct impacts to our communities. Our role back home goes beyond execution. We must clarify the importance of these policies for citizens' well-being, especially in time of a growing climate mis- and disinformation. Local governments are the bridge between global climate ambitions and tangible on-the-ground actions that really benefit our communities. And for that, we need data, frameworks, and strategies. I would like to ask you participants today who are here with us, how many of you live in a city that has a climate strategy or program? About half. How about adaptation plans? How many of you live in a city or region that has adaptation plan? Maybe a little more. But I think this gives us a clear picture that we need more action and we need more frameworks. Because imagine a world where all subnational authorities developed a plan for mitigation and adaptation. Imagine they have been created with similarity of data collection, indicators, monitoring. Imagine if we could really compare the plans also to each other. And for something like this, we need right tools and financial support. Failing to support the efforts of the subnational authorities would be a major oversight. In the European Union, we have seen numerous success stories, such as Covenant of Mayors, which has mobilized over 10,000 local authorities across Europe to work toward decarbonization and resilience by 2050, covering about 1/3 of the European Union population. These initiatives demonstrate, I think, that local authorities are not just the implementators of national policies, but we are setting the pace for climate action in Europe. Cities and regions should not only implement national policies, but also play an active role in creating climate solutions. Local governments have unique expertise and innovation that can contribute significantly to national climate strategies. It is quite crucial that we are formally integrated into nationally determined contributions and their future updates, which comes very, very soon. That ensures that expertise of local governments help shape national strategies. Subnational involvement is essential to fully realize the potential of the Paris Agreement and achieve global climate goals. Few words of the locally determined contributions. Many cities and regions in the European Union have developed climate action plans with ambitious targets, often exceeding national goals, but not all, as we have seen and witnessed just with our audience. These plans we need to tackle local challenges like urban mobility, energy efficiency and climate adaptation, and see where we want to go and where we want to be. In my city, we are part of the Covenant of Mayors and have already developed our own sustainable energy and climate action plan, as well as the adaptation plan. This tool for us has been vital in helping local government create a comprehensive strategy to reduce emissions, improve energy efficiency, and enhance climate resilience, and increase well-being of the people and keep them safe. Our tool is structured to include two main components: mitigation focus and adaptation focus. The framework helps cities to baseline emission inventory, make a risk and vulnerability assessment, and create measurable targets. Dear participants, the European Committee of the Regions have emphasized many years from here back to look back, and also during this week in Baku, that we have to include local and regional authorities in complementing national and international climate targets. That is essential. We have called for the formal inclusion of regionally and locally determined contributions in national strategies, ensuring that subnational governments are recognized for our efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This formal recognition is vital for tracking and supporting the collective climate efforts across different government levels. In UNFCCC COPs, the Committee of the Regions works alongside LGMA constituency, and we work in the Coalition for High Ambition Multi-Level Partnership, CHAMP, that was initiative launched at COP28. These are some examples of how subnational governments collaborate at the global level to enhance national commitments and climate strategies. But how do we go forward? I'm sure that we will talk that and get good answers from our panel. We are approaching COP30 soon, even though that this is not over, but we are already talking about Belém, Brazil. We have a unique opportunity to co-design next NDCs with subnational governments, using the principles that has been established in the CHAMP initiative, launched a year ago. As part of the pledge, endorsers committed to consult with subnational governments, collaborate on the review and implementation of national commitments, and create processes to enable subnational contributions to enhancing NDCs. So we are looking for the processes to start and take place. This is an important moment we have here for ensuring that local governments' voices are integrated, and therefore local people's and citizens' voices integrated into global frameworks. Back when I was a student some years ago, I did my master thesis on motivational factors behind creation of urban climate policies. I followed that day closely how cities and regions fought to have a space and a say at global climate agenda. Looking today, I think cities and regions have come quite far already in very short time. We only need to keep going further, and I'm looking forward where we are in Brazil, Belém, and COPs to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina Katilainen. I ask you to join us in the panel. And then I will ask Francisco Teixeira, is also partner of Tech2C, and company of the group Get2C. And he will introduce the regionally and locally determined platform. And Francisco Teixeira he have a long experience in the innovation business, also in the marketing and communication and economy models, and also an expertise in these areas. Please go forward for the presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, George, for your words, and Nina, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. So it is a pleasure for me to share with you a pre-launch of what we believe that until this stage is a unique tool which we called regional and locally determined contributions. As you may know, Portugal has a target of becoming carbon neutral in 2045. This is not going to be easy. Everyone knows that there is a path to proceed. And in order to make it happen, there are three actors which are critical for this path to become true. The first one is people. We need to move people. The second is companies. We need to get the private sector and public sector companies to enhance and to drive decarbonization. And the third, last but not the least, is municipalities. Let's be very, very clear. Without municipalities, Portugal won't achieve the established targets. Portugal or any other country in the world. So municipalities are critical. So what is the current scenario? we are monitoring the current situation, and we built what we call the Municipal Climate Action Map. This map ranks 5 criteria. If a municipality has a climate change adaptation strategy, if it has an energy strategy, a carbon neutrality commitment, carbon neutrality strategy or roadmap, and a municipal climate action plan. So we monitor this every year. In 2022, this was the map. 2 red and 2 orange for what we want. In 2023, it gets greener, so we are in a good path. However, despite that, we still need to do a lot. Portugal's carbon neutrality states the importance of defining strategies at a regional and local level, but only one of each 7 municipalities has committed to carbon neutrality in Portugal. Only 4% have a roadmap for carbon neutrality. So in fact, 43 municipalities out of 308 have a carbon neutrality target, 12 have a roadmap, and a little bit more than half have a municipal climate action plan. Why? Essentially, we could be here for hours talking about this, and I think we'll talk about this in the panel, but there are 2 main factors. One of them, it's knowledge. The other one, it's resources. Municipalities truly need knowledge, strong knowledge to drive this, and they need resources to make it happen. The project that we are going to launch and that we are going to present today, that we built together with the help of the foundation Calouste Gulbenkian, it's completely inspired, as Nina was talking about, in the NDCs. So countries have NDCs. We believe, as many people, that regions and municipalities should also follow the same path. So what we built was a platform with the objective of foster climate action. This software, it's free for municipalities, and they will allow them to have access to the inventory data of some of the categories of the municipal inventory. It will have also, it follows the methodology of the CDP and aligned with the Covenant of Mayors, and it does not discriminate any small local actors. And this is truly important because the big cities are driving the path, but we need to be all in the same boat. And small cities should also have the possibility to make the difference. So this platform gives for free a lot of info for big cities and small cities. So the big benefits that come from this is they will have free access to inventory data so that they can start driving and building their strategies. They can submit voluntarily commitments like they do in the NDCs, like we do with countries. And in the end, they can compare how they are and their submissions versus the national targets. And this is very important so that they can understand if they are going the good path or not. So how does this work? This works in 4 steps. So step number 1, a municipality gets in the platform, registers, and gets access to free data from the municipality. Second, they have data from energy and transports, which is the data that we have available in Portugal at this stage, and they can add inventory from the other 2 categories. So from waste and from AFOLU, so agriculture and forests. The third step, they can define a commitment. They can submit for each different target year a specific commitment. And the fourth step is that they can compare versus what is happening nationally. Nationally, we have 3 rates. Or the country, it's in the peloton, so we are following the objectives that we had in the beginning, or we are off track, what we don't want, or we are yellow jerseys and we are ahead of the peloton. So for municipalities, we are going to do exactly the same. And each municipality for each of the areas can track if they are ahead, if they are behind, or if they are following the other municipalities. So how does the ecosystem work? It will have 3 components. One of them, it will be a public site where everyone can see what's happening with all the municipalities. The second, it's the emission calculator. So each municipality, when it gets into the platform, can have all the data from their inventory. And the third, it's the submission platform. With all this data, the municipality can go a little bit further and submit their targets for the future. I'm going to show you very, very quickly a little bit on how does this work. So the site, let me just go here. We are talking about tech, so I hope it works. Yeah, it seems so. Sorry for being in Portuguese for the ones that don't speak our mother language. So, but this is the site where each municipality can get in and know the emissions and for energy and transports. They can know more about the project if they want. They can easily also submit, so they just need to fill in four. They need to fill only 4 specific information. They ask us the authorization to be part of the project, and they are in. So very, very, very easy. Once they get into the process, and this is going to be quite easy, as I told you, the next step, it's the emission calculator. The emission calculator will provide municipalities with the standard information that they can change if they want. So not only the GDP of the municipality, but also the population. They can see inventory for energy and transportation. They can have information from the last 10 years. They can see in detail the emissions on energy consumption on their municipality. They can go a little bit deeper and understand which are the energy sources, the scope, and so on, so that they can act further in the future. They can go very, very deep, specific on energy emissions and transport emissions, so that they understand which are the pain points that they have, so that they can act. And in fact, they can go to a lot of detail. Based on all of this info that they get for free, they will only need after to pick up this data and to submit. And this is the third part of the platform. In the submission, they will, in the first stage, look at the inventory. The inventory that they have and the site, I'm going to show in the end the site working. In the homepage of the site, they will have the emission projection tool with the country average and also what are their emissions. This global trajectory will only appear if the data exists in the sector. They will have it also for each sector, so for energy and for transportation, because this is, as I told you, automatically inside the platform. The areas that are not automatically inserted, they can add very easily their emissions. And once they have this, they can submit. How does this work? Very easily, again. It's not something that will take long. They will need only to accomplish 4 steps. The first step is to define a target year and the reduction. And this is what you see on the left side. So they establish the year and the percentage of reduction. And then they will have to identify plans that they might have to accomplish this. They can also explain how they are going to monitor this accomplishment, and they just need to confirm. Based on this, they will have the submission and the targets. So what you can see here, for instance, is the yellow line, it's the national line. The blue lines are for this sector specifically, what is happening with the municipality. In the end, they will have all their commitments rated in the site, and this site, and I'm going to open it now, this site will have for each municipality, they will have access to the overall projection. So this is the average of Portugal is the yellow line, the blue line, it's one example from Guimarães, and they will have also this per each of the areas, so energy, transports, waste and AFALU. In the end, every Portuguese can see what is happening with all the municipalities, and he can understand how they are ranked, if they are yellow jerseys or not, and what they are doing. And the most important thing is that they can share between we can share between municipalities what we are doing and try to drive Portugal's neutrality quite fast. This is the page for each municipality. This is for Guimarães, which is the GDP, the population and so on, and the targets. And of course, you can go a little bit deeper and understand what's behind each of the strategies for each of the areas. So we truly believe in Get2See that we should be together. It can't be only the rich municipalities giving the first steps. We need all the others to follow. We need to give these tools to all municipalities so that they can easily drive the decarbonization of a country. And Portugal truly it's a pioneer in this decarbonization process, and we believe that with municipalities on board, everything will be much more easy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Francisco, and congratulations for this great presentation. So we will go further with the roundtable, this debate with Nina. Please come again to the stage, and also Francisco Carvalho. I will begin with some questions because the time is running up very quickly. And of course, I will now start with Francisco Carvalho, ones that have no time until now to also make the intervention. Francisco Carvalho is the Research and Innovation Coordinator of Laboratório da Paisagem of Guimarães Municipality. Actually, the example that we gave also today in this platform, and at the same time, because Guimarães is also in the final to be European Green Capital for 2026, and I take this also opportunity to desire good luck for in the final of this month. And I will begin asking how regional and local contributions can leverage the national targets.
Hi, Jorge, and I would like to thank you for the invitation to be here. It's good to have Guimarães here in Baku representing Portugal. Thank you also to Nina, to Francisco. It's a pleasure for us to be here. So Guimarães was the cradle of Portugal, so it was where Portugal was born as a country, and it was good to see that we are somehow front runners also in the climate transition. So this was an investment that the municipality did, started back in 2013 when there was this vision to have a better place to live for citizens of Guimarães. And this commitment of the municipality wanted to show that our local action can contribute to global targets. And the municipality easily saw that the strategy would be to invest in knowledge, in resources, in data, and in people. And to do that, the municipality created for example, some hubs to help the municipality to collect this data, to work with this data. That was the creation, for example, with the Landscape Laboratory, to build this connection between municipalities, people, academia, and also the private sector. So this kind of a governance ecosystem that is basically transforming and transferring knowledge from academia to action in the field. We of course we did this pathway, as Francisco and Nina were saying. So we built strategies, and then we began to act in the field, knowing that build capacity is very important. So environmental knowledge on environmental action is very important to everyone. So we created an education plan called Pegadas, the footprints for people. So every citizen, every kid in school could know what we are talking about in terms of climate action.
No one behind.
And leave no one behind. That is very, very important to us. This sense of just transition as well. So we can all move forward and push forward and act globally. And individual action is very important. We are doing that also with private companies now.
And Guimarães also already make the commitment for neutrality because it's in the network of net zero cities.
Yes.
So you have the mission to get it in 2030.
Yes, so we anticipated the target to be a climate neutral city by 2030. We were one of them labeled as one emission label city. We have our climate city contract. We have our investment plan as well. And it was easy to us, it was good to us to understand what is our situation now, what we need to do if we want to achieve climate neutrality.
In terms of the investment and all
Yes.
the engagement of the stakeholders. Nina, you said in your speech that cities it's really have the importance and get to this contribution of the international commitments of each country. But certainly there is some challenge for that. Which is the biggest challenges that for a local municipality have to monitorize and also invest in all these actions to the decarbonization process? Yeah.
Well, I would say that one of the challenges is for some municipalities is how to get access to the finance and direct finance. That now that we talk about, this is the finance scope, and we talk so much about the finance for the states, but there should also be very direct ways for the municipalities to also get access to the finance. And not just municipalities, but as also local groups and just very citizen level. Yes. Of course, also. But I would say that the challenge in being part of the NDC is probably, well, just to say it blankly, I think that parties and the state should really understand what we can contribute. That we don't want to be involved just because we want to be involved and or for ourselves. We want to be involved in the NDCs because we want to contribute and help our states, help to combat climate crisis, global warming, and we can do that. And I think that now that so many cities have showcased that we can do it. My city, for example, we had a carbon neutrality target 2040. But we had to upheave the target because we were reducing emissions in such a rapid phase. So we had to make a new target to 2029, so one year before. So we have been next year we have been reducing 75% of our emissions from 1990 level. So this is one example of multiple of cities that are doing quite a lot. I think that would be very efficient if we were included in NDCs, and I think it would also prevent some double counting, because so much is happening throughout countries. Then it would be very important to have very clear frameworks and streamline of how we are part of NDCs and how the countries take us involve us. So if there are any negotiators here, please take the brackets off and put some very concrete suggestions of subnationals being involved.
For you, these tools, it's also useful for to combat this maybe greenwashing of double counting and so on. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think that maybe one thing that wasn't yet mentioned, I think the tool like this is very important for transparency for the citizens and universities and businesses, because for citizens it is at the moment a little difficult to find out what municipalities in general, in whole, are doing. For our citizens, they can access. We have a database in our website and so on. But if you want to compare different cities from in your country, there is no place you can do that. I think this is very good for the citizens, so they can see what is being done and they can call the local councillors. That's what we are for, also for citizens to push us move even faster. I think this is transparency is very important.
Okay, thank you, Nina. Francisco, in the same line of the challenge, in the tech development vision, there are a lot of challenge also to develop these tools. So, in your opinion, or even in your experience, which was the biggest challenge to do that?
Yes, I think technology, probably it's the only way that we will have to make small scale actions to turn them in big scale. So to change everything that we want at this stage, technology will be a driver that will enhance and help everything that we are doing. The big problem that we have at this stage is that we have municipalities divided in two groups. There is a group of municipalities which are in what we call a vicious circle. They don't have money, they have other they don't have knowledge, they don't have people, they have other priorities, and everything which is linked to decarbonization, normally it's the fourth or fifth priority in a municipality. And we have other group of municipalities which are in a virtuous circle. They are in a positive circle. Why? Because they achieved to give the step going from one circle to the other. What did they do? They invested a little bit of time, a little bit of money also from a financing point of view, and when they went to the other group, they started to be perceived by the ecosystem as people that were interested in cities that wanted to make the difference. Once you get in this part of the ecosystem, you will easily get technology, you will easily get financing, and everything gets much more easy, and the decarbonization starts to be a priority in the municipality. So I think technology, it's going to be one of the drivers to make municipalities go from one group to the other one quite easily.
So in your opinion, these tech tools leverage the impact of the action, the climate action in deep, and also can contaminate in a positive way for the virtuous cycle, yeah?
Yes, and there are two sets. One of them, it's technology gives information, gives data, prepares municipalities to be to give the first steps. The second, it's the action, as you were saying. Technology allows things to happen with the sensors that we may have, for instance, in waste. With everything that it's being applied from a technology point of view, you go from theory to action. So you have the two sets of technology that will make the difference.
Francisco, in Guimarães, with the example of Laboratório da Paisagem, also in this way, research and development and also the using of these tech tools also contaminate all the region, of course. Do you feel that this also contribute to the quality living in the city and also make the companies and also people more attractive for the city?
Yes, absolutely. I think the first and the most important thing is that with data and we can build science-based decision making, which is easier for politicians to make regulations and to move forward with make choices. And second, you see that once you create this ecosystem, once you try to move forward and you show that it is possible, so there are others will join you. And we are seeing that with private companies. For example, we created the climate pact, for example, to move towards climate neutrality. So we created this climate pact for private companies so they could say, okay, we joined the green transition, we joined the climate transition, we want to move forward with you. They signed the climate pact, and now what we are doing with them, we have a lot of small, medium-sized companies in Guimarães. As you know, textile industries are the most important source of economics in the territory. What we are doing with small, medium-sized companies, some of them, they don't have the capacity to have their own sustainability departments, and what the municipality is doing with institutions like the Landscape Lab is to provide services to help them to move forward as well. So they don't know how to do it, but we are helping them to move forward. And once they see that it is possible and they have that help, others will join. And we create this sectorial ecosystem with rapid mass engagement methodology. So we bring all of them to the same room table.
Also because to achieve the neutrality, the investment, it's more private than public.
Yes, absolutely. So we measure that while designing our climate action, our climate city contract and the action plan. We saw, okay, so the private sector will be the biggest and most important part of our...
More than 70%.
More than 70%, more than 80%, so almost more than 90%, to be honest. So we said, okay, we need the private sector, we need the industries to move forward with us, so that's why it is so important to us to have the private sector with us, yeah.
Okay, Nina, and the last round of the questions, because the time is really running up. There are good examples, for sure, that create also the multi-level governance ecosystem that also useful to make more ambitions each city. Do you know good examples, European and non-European, but of course European in the name of Committee of Regions that have this level of ecosystem governance?
Well, I'm sure there are plenty of examples, and it of course varies from country to country because the multi-level system is somewhat different. For example, in Finland, we have lots of the cities have lots of capacity and power, and we are responsible of many things. And in our regions are only responsible of welfare issues. But I think this is something that we would need to also showcase more, the good examples that we already have. And there have been various good examples on how multi-level governance have really concretely given more to the climate ambition, and also in other policy areas. Climate is of course only one that we would need to work with in multi-level action. And if I'm stepping a little away from the emission reduction, for example, when we talk about just transition and inclusion of people and vulnerable groups and creating better life for the people, this is also something that we need the whole multi-level system to work with. So not directly to answer your question, but I think that in each part of the European Union and the globe there are various different systems on how to really work together, but I don't want to single anyone out.
Yes, but anyway, Nina, it's not only. Thank you. It's not only multi-level in terms of finance or of funding, and even in terms of reporting, but also in terms of the application of European laws and so on. Because in some cases, even if there are commitments at the European level and national level, and then we don't have the opportunity to apply in terms local level. Do you feel also this difficulty in terms of the applying of these European laws?
Well, I would single out finance for this question. There are several European financial instruments that the local and regional level can have access to, but I would say it's not enough. We need more direct access to the finance, and now that there is again talks of the new financial instruments, funds, I think there needs to be very singled out very directly that there has to be direct access for the cities and regions to submit their projects. So this is where we need access, and I think on the global level, because the needs are very different, and adaptation in that sense is also a very important topical area.
Thank you very much. So we will close this round table, and I would like also to thank to Francisco, Nina, and also Francisco Teixeira. Thank you a lot for your contributions and also your participation. And we will go to the closing remarks with our Portuguese Secretary of State for Energy, Maria João Pereira, that I really thank for your participation and also to be here in this event of Get to See. Thank you, Zola.
Muito bom. Sorry. let me change. So, good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank the invitation for addressing these short words to you. It was very exciting to hear and to learn more about the tools and innovation that we are doing in Portugal, but also to see good examples of how municipalities are contributing strongly to these commitments that we are doing. So I would like to congratulate Get to See for the outstanding work in developing this tool, regionally and locally determined contributions platform. This is a tool that has potential to become a powerful resource for municipalities in inventorying their emissions and advancing effective measures towards decarbonization. As we know, I think that it is well known that Portugal has set new ambitious climate goals outlined in the recent revision of our National Energy and Climate Plan for 2030. and we are aiming to bring forward the decarbonization of the economy until 2045. So I'm really happy that Guimarães is setting the pace and accelerating 2030. Good news. Achieving this commitment requires coordinated efforts across all fronts, from energy transition and consumption efficiency to technological innovation and local community engagement. But also needs strong leadership and coordination across all decision levels, from government to municipal level or even to neighborhood level. The platform presented today provides municipalities and local authorities the tools to quantify their emissions and align their strategy with national and European objectives. This is a practical example of how knowledge and innovation can accelerate collective progress. So while the climate transition is a global challenge, it is at the local level, as very well stressed in this talk, that most tangible changes occur. With the support of this platform, municipalities will have not only a technical instrument, but also a solid foundation to make informed decisions, plan ambitious actions, and foster community involvement. And also support, as also we hear here today, how the municipalities can support at local level small companies and small entrepreneurs that do not have the capability and they don't have the size enough to do it by themselves. So this is also very important. We are confident that this tool will help drive more efficient and transparent climate management, to be prepared for making climate commitments, as we learned here today with the example of Guimarães and Turco, placing municipalities at the forefront of a fair and sustainable transition. So, for just finalizing these short words, I congratulate Get2C and everyone involved for this invaluable contribution. From here on, it is up to us to put our efforts and ensure that this platform translates into action, delivering results and driving true transformation on the ground. So thank you very much, and I wish you continued success in your work. Thank you very much.